by Dallas, nigga hurt.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome to one and only Big Time Show podcast. That is being seen and heard live right now as we speak on the Big Time Show Facebook page, the Big Time Show Twitter page, the YouTube page as well, and then on Twitch. And of course on the primary home of the podcast, which is Podbean. Welcome to the Postgame show that we will talk about in just a second. I'll get to everybody in the group. I figured I have somewhat of a decent crowd. All the brothers are on right now with their post-game show. I'm going to go ahead and get mine out the way. Get it out the way, really, to be honest with you. Everything that I saw today is what I've talked about all year. If you've been with me, I've always said it. Cowboys win. They win spectacularly. Cowboys lose. They lose spectacularly. I rest my case. See, we don't win and lose. We usually lose spectacularly by getting what happened today. That's what I call spectacular. Or if we lose a close game, it's by some mistakes that we made. Dallas, Philly, and Philadelphia. Dak steps out of bounds. Schoonmaker scores, but he's at the 1-inch yard line. They get enough depth. That type of stuff. That's how you look. That's spectacular losses. Then we get these games like the Arizona game, like the Frisco game. And then today, like the Buffalo game, where we just get annihilated. That's losing spectacularly. Bottom line is this. Y'all know how I am when y'all come on. Y'all excuse me just for a second. Well, first of all, hope you guys would share. If you're on Facebook and want to participate in supporting the podcast, you can do it by the Cash App there you see on the ticker. $ Cash App, which is the Big Time Show, or you can use those stars on Facebook. Or if you're on YouTube, you can use those super chat right there on your phone. I think that's going to be at your bottom right there, the $ there. Once you do that, you can Uh, do that, and I'll see your super chat. And when I see your super chat, I'll stop doing what I'm doing, and I will say hello. Let me go ahead and just say it like this before I speak to everybody that's in here, because I ain't really looking at the comments in here yet. Y'all forgive my voice. I'm heavily congested. My nose is running. Y'all forgive me if I have to use my mic out just to blow my nose. I think I look better with blowing my nose than having a lot of snot running down my nose, and y'all really will laugh at me. So y'all forgive me if I have to do that. The bottom line is this. We got our butt kicked. That's just the bottom line. It's man, let me count the ways. I will say at this point, that this late into the season, when you have a good football team like we have, you just cannot lose. You just can't lose like this. It's too late in the season to be getting ripped apart. You know, the bad football teams, this is what they kind of expect, because they have a different type of a season going on, because they're positioning themselves in the draft. It's like the ones that that are battling for those top 3 picks in the draft. They ain't trying to win no game. They want the number 1, number 2 pick. See what I'm saying? So it is what it is on that. Let me speak to everybody. Let me see who in here, because I got a feeling I know who in here. Let me see. First of all, let me go to Podbean. IDOT. Yeah, I got something to say. IDOT. You know me. I'm gonna give it to you the way it's supposed to be given. There ain't gonna be no. If I told y'all before, if they play good, I say they play good. If they play horrible, I say they played horrible. I will say that. So you can already kind of tell based off that statement. You already know where this show gonna go. Now, let me speak. Oh Lord, have mercy. Here we go. See, I already knew the hair's gonna show up. It's good to see y'all. First of all, let me say that, because I hadn't seen y'all in about a month and a half. When the Cowboys winning, you don't show up. As soon as the Cowboys lose, here y'all come. So I go and tell y'all now. I'm gonna read just a couple comments, just for you showing up, you haters. I'm going to read your comment one time. After that, so you don't get to stay out building for 5 or 6 weeks and then decide to show up now. See what I'm saying? I won't even recognize you, but I'm gonna recognize you just because you took the time. Number 1, hater number 1. You obviously couldn't wait. We ain't seen you in a while, Eastside. We ain't seen you in a while, sir. Huh? Now you want to show up. Ain't that so? All right. That's all you get, Eastside. As soon as and the phone line will be open. Eastside, let me go and stop you now. If you call in today, I'm not even gonna answer. And that means you probably gonna find another Cowboy podcast today. So there you go. All right, Talib, what's up? Matthew, what's up? Frederick, what's up? Best friend Eddie Woods, another Cowboy hater. Here he go. I ain't seen him definitely in 6-7 weeks. Here he come. It's December, he said. What that mean? What that mean? We already won December. What you saying? Shane, what's going on? Eddie said butt kick against a winning team. So that let me know you ain't been watching. When Seattle came to Dallas, they were a winning team. That's when y'all said the gauntlet would start. We just beat them. Then we played Philly in Dallas. They showed enough a winning team. We beat them. So that's your 2 wins there. What are you talking about, son? What are you talking about? You must have forgot we played Philly just last week. You must forgot Seattle was a winning team when they came to Dallas. What are you saying? The end of that. That's my last time acknowledging you because you ain't showed up in 5-6 weeks. What's up? Dylan's in the house. Kenya's in the house. Gary, my brother in here. Oh yeah, they coming in here. They gonna start sharing it because they've been wanting to put memes and posts out for about 5-6 weeks. And they couldn't because Cowboys shut their mouth. And now all of a sudden, they had to come in and get the little jabs in. I understand that. I get it. But here in this house, if I ain't heard from you in 5 or 6 weeks, I ain't giving you no respect to try to take over the show. Y'all can forget that. I'll take care of the Cowboys myself. I don't need y'all here. All right. That's how I roll over here. On that note, here we go. First things first. This don't show up in the stats. But if you play ball, or even if you haven't played ball, you can see this. Number one, when you play with no energy, when you play with no passion, when you play with no urgency, this is what happens. They look like they weren't in the game from the beginning. They weren't that. We'll start there because everything else then after that fits. Look, it looked like they sent drones of themselves to Buffalo. And the real Cowboys so far that we've seen this year stayed in Dallas. And at this particular time of the year, you cannot allow yourself to play raggedy like that. And especially when you were leading the division at the time, coming into the game, knowing that you, in order to keep the lead and possibly win the division, you can't afford any slip-ups. I understand as of now, the Philadelphia Eagles have moved back to the top of the division, and Dallas moved back down to the 5th seed. Now, of course, tomorrow, if Philly loses, the Cowboys will go back to 2, and Philly will fall to 5. So it really makes no difference to me because the Cowboys earned this beatdown. They got their butts kicked. Bottom line. Now, a lot of you going to be talking about the referees and all the bad calls. And there were some bad calls, but some of them calls they earned. Everybody crying about when D-Law got his flag for hitting Josh Allen. I'll just say this. If that would have got hit just like that, you would have been crying for the flag. So we don't act like that really, it meant something because it extended the drive. D-Law was way off. And he hit the man dead in the chest, elbow, whatever, and extended the drive. They scored 7. That was a 3rd down. They would have kicked the field goal. Well, they would have been maybe a punt. Who knows? Hold on a second, y'all. Y'all forgive me. Now, totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. That part was done. The Sam Williams penalty on that punt block or attempted punt block, it shouldn't have been 15 yards, but it should have been 5 for running into the kicker. He did not go at the kicker at all. But nevertheless, that's not an excuse either, because even with that, the Cowboys would have still got their brains kicked in, regardless, because they had no energy. And then let's go to number 2. If I would have told you today, let me go and get this out of the way. If I would have told you today that Josh Allen went 7 for 15 for the game, 94 yards, and just 1 touchdown, you probably would have asked me, if you didn't see the game, did Josh get hurt? That's what you would ask me. Because there's no way in the world that Josh Allen went 7-15 for only 94 yards and they win the game. That's what you would ask. Josh Allen didn't do nothing today. The game wasn't Josh Allen. That's not the reason why Buffalo won. They won by old-fashioned football. Defense and running the football. That's the bottom line. Some kind of way, pride has to step into play. You know why I say that? Here's all you need to know. Here's all you need to know about today. You can talk about the refs all y'all want. I'll let y'all have it. The Buffalo Bills ran it 49 times for 266 yards. That, ladies and gentlemen, is ridiculous. That's how you get your brains kicked in. If you want to go in depth, this is what they did. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. James Cook, the brother of Dalvin Cook, 25 carries, 179 yards with a 7.2 average, 1 touchdown. Then he had 2 catches for 42 yards and 1 touchdown. Did y'all just hear what I said? 25 carries for 179 yards. Oh, no. That's who beat us today. It wasn't Josh Allen. James Cook. He destroyed us. He ran on us like we was a preseason defense. And keep in mind, this is the same defense that we have all praised pretty much all year. I can't tell today. I can't tell today. Buffalo ran where they wanted, when they wanted, how they wanted. James Cook would get the ball and wouldn't be touched till maybe after 8 yards. Then he finally got touched and ran for about another 8 more. It was totally ridiculous. And no, let me help y'all. Let me kill a narrative real quick. A lot of people are already saying that's why we got to have Jonathan Hankins. That's why we got look. The defensive line can help it a little bit, but they're not the sole reason. Jonathan Hankins would have made a dramatic difference like that. No, he wouldn't. Your linebackers missing tackles, safeties missing tackles, arm tackling. I mean, what other thing? So, guess what happened, y'all? That nasty narrative that has been on the Cowboys franchise for about the last 7-8 years showed his head up again. Y'all already know what it is, right? Can't stop the run. At least today we didn't. At least today we didn't. Today we did not. We got other games where we shut the run down. It just wasn't today. I'm not going to overreact and say, it's all over. I ain't going to say all that. Not going to say all that. Just had a bad day at the office today. Okay. completely bad day at the office today. They got their brains kicked in. Now, I will say this: something has to be addressed because, and I don't know if that means bringing in somebody. I ain't talking about that. The guys just got to play better. You got to play with some energy. Buffalo Bills ain't that great on the offensive line. They look like Super Bowl champions today. As always, like I always said, when teams see Dallas, they play the best game. Buffalo is 8-7 right now. That's a record nobody expected. They have been struggling all year long. Play the Cowboys, play their best game of the season. No surprise to me. Everybody get up for the Cowboys. We all know that. They got up for us today, and we did not match them. The first thing that I saw was right at the beginning. I knew it was a bad day. I knew they was going to make a run because I saw Neville Gallimore out there starting. And I'm like, why is Neville Gallimore out there like he's just a run stopper? Shoot, he done had 3 years to prove that he can stop it. It's a reason why he's at the back end of the rotation. Please don't tell me. I mean, they started out with OC and Neville Gallimore. And I'm saying, like, I mean, I don't know if Neville Gallimore is better than Mozzie. I don't know that. Even though Mozzie didn't do nothing either. Nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing. That includes Parsons. That includes D-Law. That includes DeMarco Clark. That includes Alt Bell. That includes the safeties. Nobody did nothing on the run defense. They got manhandled. They got destroyed. They did. I ain't find no positives. I ain't find no positive in this game at all. No positive. It was just not today. Today, I'm quite sure we won't look like this again. However, I will say this. Miami coming up next week. They got 2 monsters that can run it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Here's the bottom line. I might as well just go and lay it out. The Cowboys got punked today. How about that? And I don't care what. Look, all you sensitive Cowboy fans, listen. You see what shirt I'm wearing? I'm bona fide, no question. Cowboy fan, heartbeat, bleed blue. It ain't no question about me. Been there since 1977, so I don't need no Cowboy fans saying, no, I don't want to hear that. I earned the right to talk about it. I give them credit when they play. If you don't believe me, go look at my catalog. You'll see how I talk about them when they play well. He played horrible today. Horrible. There's no way you can look at this game and say, the only thing that was positive about this game is only one thing. Only one thing that was positive about this game, which may have been a problem. Not sure if the guys knew before kickoff. I don't know. I don't know if the message got to them. I don't know. And it still don't make no difference because you still had to win because you had to keep Philly behind you. So here's the bottom line. There's one thing. The Cowboys clinched the playoff spot today. That's it. Just in case you don't know the Cowboys, because whoever lost today before the game started, the Cowboys clinched the playoff spot. They're in the playoffs. They're in. If they lose every game from now on, they're in. So that's the only positive. Other than that, it was when kickoff started where the problem started. It was totally ridiculous. You don't supposed to look like that at this part of the year if you're one of those teams. One last thing, because there really ain't nothing to talk about other than we got punked. We got punked today. Punked. We got bullied. We got punked. We got pushed around. They were more physical than us. We weren't physical at all. At all. In offense and defense. The defensive line got whipped today. Our offensive line got whipped today. It was just horrible. We got out-coached. We got destroyed. Now, there was a big narrative that was out before when this week started about Dak Prescott being the MVP of the National Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, that is dead as of today. And I'm a Cowboy fan. I wanted him to win. It's dead. Y'all can let it go. Let's just go try to get a deep playoff run now. So you can't be an MVP candidate. I ain't opened up the lines yet. Whoever it is, call me. Don't call me yet till I open them up. Until you can't be an MVP candidate and then have a stinker. So you can lose, but you know, if you had a big game, that might keep you in it. You can't have a stinker type game like today and still think that you are an MVP candidate. So at the beginning of the week, I still said Dak was number 2. And then Coach, I've already talked about everything. You may have missed me before. I'm about on my 3rd point, Coach Breedlove. You can't have that. Dak Prescott is not the MVP. Matter of fact, he dropped a lot. Last week I said Purdy was, and then Dak at number 2, at a close number 2. After today, Brock Purdy is actually running away with it. So we can kill that narrative about Dak being MVP. We just got punked. We got beat up today. There was no positive, nothing. Nothing. And unfortunately for us, if we talking about winning the division, you ain't got long to get your stuff back together. You better get it together real quick. Because let me tell you something. You showed the Miami Dolphins that you can't stop the run, and they got 2 monsters back there. AC and then Raheem Borster, I'm sorry. They can flat out run it. So, you know, it is what it is. Matter of fact, we're gonna see this for the rest of the way. Since everybody, you know, this is what everybody have always said, running against the Cowboys. So we got Miami, they're gonna run it. You got Detroit, they're gonna run it. Washington, they're gonna run it too. So we're gonna get a stern test these last 4 weeks. That really is the agenda for the next 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks. You're gonna have to stop the run. You got to stop the run. That's the only way. You know, I really ain't worried about the back end at all. Dick Gilmore and playing, I ain't really worried about that. I'm more worried about this run defense, which got punked out today. All of this happened on today. We're not going to act like this the way it's been the whole year because we got too many wins on the board to say otherwise. So we're not going to count like this is what's been going on all year. It just happened today. Now we know what we have to work on, and we better get it right because the same formula is going to be tried by every team that we play because that's what they do well. Miami runs the ball well. Detroit runs the ball well. Washington can run the ball. So we got to get it straight, and then it's playoff time. We got to get this done rather quickly. See what I'm saying? This is what we're talking about. We have got to get this handled quickly, or let me put it this way: we have to have a better showing on the run defense than what we had today. You can't let a running back have 179 yards. No. Now when you're a top 5 defense, top 3 defense in the league, no, you can't allow that to happen. You can't let that happen. You can't. It has to be handled because Morster and Aishi, I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. These guys run the ball, get 100-yard games themselves. And if you don't have no defense that can stop the run, we're gonna have some problems. And keep in mind, the reason why this hasn't really been, exposed is because usually the Cowboys get up on top of you so much that it essentially the scoreboard takes a team's running game away. That's what the formula's been all year. Cowboys got so many blowout wins that it turns a team one-dimensional. But as I've always said, what happens when the defense have a bad game? You just saw it today. So, a total beatdown today. 1,000% beatdown. 1,000% tail kicking. I'm saying people who ain't never seen before. Yeah, it's amazing how when the Cowboys lose, these are my best shows. Cause I see folks in here I ain't never seen before. It remains to be seen. We'll see. We will see. We'll be with you maybe tomorrow evening. We'll talk about it and break the game down. It really ain't nothing to break down for us because energy and passion and want to is not seen in the stat book. We just had to see the lack of energy. Yeah, I'm gonna take calls in just a second. I already warned some of y'all. The ones I ain't heard from in 5-6 weeks. Don't y'all call in? That don't call in. You might well just stay in the chat and talk. As soon as I say who am I speaking to, and it's one of y'all know who I'm talking to. I see I can't find y'all when the Cowboys win. Like I ain't seen y'all in a month and a half. I ain't seen y'all about a month and a half. Now you want to come in and talk. I don't bother y'all when y'all team lose. You know when the 49ers lost 3 straight. I didn't say nothing to them. I didn't say nothing. I don't waste my time talking about another team here that don't even belong in this conversation. You know, Dallas the Houston Texans. This man gonna put down your this boy this guy here gonna talk about. Well, the Cowboys just got 2 more wins for your information. We got 2 more. What you saying? It made a better record. Yeah, I mean, and you like you just saying something. And we got 2 more wins. So who's better? I just took away your conversations. Don't even call in, he said. Just chat in the thing because I ain't heard from you in a month. And hide, son, ever since y'all lost to Jacksonville. So everybody been calling your name, waiting on you. Now you want to show up only because Houston won today and the Cowboys lost. Now you want to show up. Now you want to show up. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? All right. Buffalo today, before I open the line, is nothing really you can say. Buffalo was a dominant team today. They beat our brains out. They kicked our butt. They destroyed us, actually, today. Bottom line, that's the truth. Cowboys got annihilated today in every facet of the game. Every facet. It's nothing positive that you can say. I swear I didn't open up the on-phone line, but I guess I'm going to do it now.
Call from
Cowboy Jay.
Cowboy
to
Jay.
accept, press 1.
Cowboy Jay. Cowboy Jay. What's up? Hold on. Okay, I got to call him back. Gonna call Cowboy Jay back. Phone line open, y'all, but don't call right now. Wait till I get Jay in here.
Oh,
hey, Cowboy Jay, what's up?
What's going on, man?
What's
It's one of them things where it can happen any week to anybody. We've seen the 49ers get annihilated early in the year. We've seen Philly get annihilated. They got annihilated last week,
Yeah.
And the NFL is a game of inches, That throw that Dak made, that missed Brandon Cooks, and I'm not faulting Dak this game, but that was a pivotal. That would have put us up 7-0, I believe, if I ain't mistaken, or even 7-7. That we missed that throw, and then on fourth down, a roughing penalty. They get extra life. They score off that. Then the block punt that we should have had. They get extra life on that roughing.
Yeah.
You cannot have those things in a game like this and expect to keep winning. And then Buffalo just, they just kept running the ball.
Yeah, it was totally disrespectful.
Yeah,
they totally. Josh Allen threw the ball 15 times.
I don't think he had 100 yards receiving. I don't think he had 100 yards.
He didn't have 100 yards today. They're just totally disrespectful. Totally. They just said we gonna punk y'all out. We gonna run right here, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. That's what they did to us today. They punked us out.
I want to know, why do we have Rashawn Evans on the team if we're not going to deploy linebackers? I know we like 14, and I know we like safety, but I get tired of seeing when these teams decide they're going to run the ball on Dallas. We just keep these hybrid safeties in the game instead of these real linebackers that need to be on the field out there hitting gaps. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you got to put. James Cook ain't got no business dragging the Cowboys 15 yards on the field.
179 yards.
I watched James Cook. I watched him in Georgia, and he was not an inside runner. Yeah. He's going to run outside and juke and catch balls. They made James Cook look like Leonard Fournette today.
They did.
Thank God Leonard Fournette on the practice squad, because he probably would have. They really wouldn't want to tackle that.
Yeah, totally ridiculous.
And like it was, and they can't blame it on the weather because the weather was good. It was a little cold, but it wasn't snowing.
In Buffalo, New York, there's like a summertime game during this time of year. 44 degrees, a little rain. Usually be snow down by this time and all that kind of stuff. So there's no excuses, man. We just got our butts kicked today. I appreciate
they gonna have to bounce back. Thank you for taking my call.
I appreciate you. Now, for all those that called, I got your phone call. I'm about to go in the order that it was. So I got somebody from Texas that I'm about to call now. You don't have to call in. If you call, I like to get the guys, whoever call in, let them talk, and then I'll come back to you.
Hello?
Hello, Big Time Show. Who is this?
Oh, man. How you doing, brother?
Who is this?
Oh, man, this your boy. This boy Eastside. How you doing, brother?
Doing fine, man. Well, you got 5 seconds, Eastside.
Hey, sir, did you get my chat, sir?
Yeah, I saw that, but I just saw it. I just saw it.
Hey, sir, I will have to disagree.
All I want to know is why you ain't called in the last 4 weeks.
Sir, I looked on my caller ID. I had last time I spoke to you was on the 4th. That's the last time me and you have had a discussion, sir.
I ain't heard from you since I ain't heard from you since you lost to Jacksonville. Sir. You ain't been on the show. You ain't been on
and guess what our record is? Same as Buffalo.
Who cares?
We're the same team.
Who cares?
I'm just saying, sir. I can't, sir. You know I'm a Patriot, sir. I call in because I want to hear what happened today. I want
you done heard the whole show, Eastside. You was the first.
I want to get your expert opinion, sir. Can I call in and ask about the Dallas Cowboys?
I gave you my first opinion. You've been on the show ever since it started. You heard what I said.
Sir.
What, do you want me to repeat myself?
Sir, I'm just calling in like everybody else. Sir. Why you do your brother like that?
I want to know why you calling me. Why you calling me?
Sir.
I already said
because here we are again. We here again after we see what that does in big games.
He had big games. Why did you say that when he played Philadelphia? Wasn't that a big game?
Y'all beat Philadelphia.
Wasn't that a big game?
Philadelphia beat you too.
No. We ain't talking about what happened before. The last time we played Philadelphia, just a couple weeks ago. Wasn't that a big game, Eastside?
Sure.
What you mean? Was it or was it not? Was it a big game?
What was the score? 34-10 or 31?
You know what the score is. You were watching it, hoping that the Cowboys would lose. Wasn't that?
That didn't look like no hope. That looked like a for sure loss.
Was it a big game? When you say how it does a big game? Wasn't the Philadelphia game a big game?
Hey, sir. I'm just calling it checking back with you, sir.
That's a yes or no. That's a yes or no.
A good supporter of your channel?
Yeah, but at the same time, you ain't talking about nothing because you ain't answering my question.
I'm talking about plenty, sir.
Okay, you answered my question.
You lost to an 8-6 AFC team. Do you know who else is 8-6?
Who?
Oh.
Who?
We don't talk about that.
Who's another 8-6 team?
Oh, the Texans.
Oh man, we don't care nothing about no. We don't care nothing about no Texans, man. Get off my phone. Bye. Next. We don't talk about the Houston. I told you this ain't no Houston Texans podcast show where you can highlight the Texans. Cowboys.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person.
That was somebody from North Carolina, whoever that North Carolina number was. I'm trying to call you. See who this is. Hey, who is this?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, do me a favor, turn your phone down. What's going on? Hello?
Who's that? Hey, Douglas, can you hear me?
Yeah, who is this?
Hey, this is Talib in North Carolina.
Got you, Talib. What's up?
Yeah, well, I'm actually, I live in Brooklyn, New York, but my parents, I lived in North Carolina at one time. My parents, my mother and father still there.
Okay.
I'm a Southern boy living here in New York.
Okay. What's going on?
Yeah, let me get right to it, man. This was a pathetic loss today.
No doubt about it.
It was pathetic. One thing I want to know from Mr. McCarthy here, Coach McCarthy, what was the game plan going into the game? Because we knew exactly what the game plan was for the Bills.
Yeah. Well, once they saw that it was working, they
absolutely
they didn't change it. I got a better question than that. It's not McCarthy. When Dan Quinn saw that we couldn't stop James Cook, why did you sell out to stop the run? I don't care if Josh Allen would have got hot. Once again, that pride thing came into play.
Yeah,
he didn't adjust. He didn't adjust.
That's correct. But I'll get to Dan Quinn later. But the thing is, it wasn't like we couldn't run the ball.
Uh-huh.
At least
That's
for
true.
me, right? It's hard to get behind this team this time of year. Ladies and gentlemen, we're an outstanding football team, but whatever we do at home does not travel on the road. And that's a big problem. Because if everything plays out the way it probably will play out, is that we are going to be a road playoff team.
Yep.
This team, as you said, no energy at all. This is the game right here and next week where you got to show that you can do something on the road, man. You got to be able to do something on the road. I don't know what the game plan coming into this game. With it raining and weather, we're not running the ball. Bill's running it down our throat.
Yeah.
And the thing about Mr. Dan Quinn, regardless of personnel, what happened today can't happen again. Because that's going, as you said, that's going to be the blueprint from here on out.
Yeah.
What happened today can't happen again. I am concerned about my team because whatever we're doing at home is not carrying over to road games. And we are going to be a road playoff team. So we have to get something figured out. If not, it's going to be the same damn scenario.
Yep.
One playoff win, you get to the divisional round, you're either going to San Francisco, maybe Philly, and you're done. Why? Because you can't stop the run. You don't have a game plan coming into a road game, and we've seen this time and time again. Yeah. This is what pissed me off as a fan.
Yeah.
Show me something different than what you've been doing the past 2 years, and here comes the opportunity to show that, and your team ain't up for it. That starts with coaching. If your team is not there with the energy, I don't care. That to me, I'm not a coach, but you're probably going to ask, you got coaches on your line right now.
Yep.
If your team is not coming out with the proper energy, then that falls on you, either as the head coach, coordinator, position coach, that falls on you. So you doggone right. I am concerned about my team, once again, heading into the playoffs, because whatever we're doing at home has not carried over to road games.
Yeah.
Period.
Uh-huh. I agree.
And that's all I got to say. I mean, I'm hoping something changes next week, because if we're not very careful, right, we could be heading it. If we come out with that same energy next week, we're going to get toasted once again.
You might
because we're going to get a heavy dose of the run.
Yeah,
we're going to get a heavy dose of the run next week.
Definitely.
But Tua ain't throwing the ball 15 times, though.
No.
Right?
You're going to get tested. The willingness to not adjust. When you saw that Cook was destroying you, you still hung on to that fact that you're going to keep 4 people down, our front 4. You didn't blitz linebackers too much at all. You didn't sell out for the run. And when you see, they ain't have to pass. So you got to really make an adjustment on that. And he didn't do it. And that's why Cook had 179 yards today. He destroyed us today. No question about it.
That's right. And I'm going to let you go on this. If we're not very careful, man, if we don't get it together, starting next week, we could be heading into, because we've already clinched the playoff spot, we could be heading into the playoffs reeling.
Yeah.
If we're not very careful, if we don't pick it up, if this energy, something don't happen beginning next week, we could be heading into this playoffs reeling as a team, man. So, I am concerned about my team, period.
I got you. Appreciate you, Talib.
All right, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you,
Excellent
man.
show as always, brother.
Thank you,
Take
man.
care.
All right, bye-bye. All right, whoever that was that called from California, I'm getting ready to call you right now. I don't know who this is, but hope it ain't.
Well, you right there.
Hey, what's going on, my man?
Hey, what's going on? Who is this?
My name is Gavin, man. I'm from California.
Hey, Gavin.
Venice area.
Turn your phone down for me.
Yes, sir. I just did.
All right, appreciate you. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. I mean, I've been watching ball for at least the Cowboys for 20 years, man. At least, and my family's been Cowboys fans ever since I can remember. Even back to the heydays of Landry, Staubach, all that. So, I mean, but after today, man, this was a rough game. Honestly, I felt like we got out the gate and we deferred, and we gave the Buffalo Bills a chance with their high-powered offense, them needing to win. And they went out there and they were going to score on that first drive. And then I saw that roughing the passer call on Lawrence that I really didn't like.
Yeah.
That was a blatant penalty. Blatant. Should have been a no call. But, he played the acting up and he got it. And then, we get the ball, we start driving, and then you get that holding call on Tyler Smith.
Yep.
And then I'm just like, wow. And then I watch that replay too, and I'm like, where's the hold?
Yeah.
And then, it's all right. Then we go down 2 scores. I figure we can rally, and get it together. But, since that Jonathan Hankins injury and the interior lineman, they kind of really just gouged us right up the gut with Cook. And he's a good back. He's always been a good back.
Yeah. I agree 1,000%.
What's your take on this?
I echo everything you just said. I will throw in that we had no energy. We didn't play with the same intensity that we played last week against Philadelphia. I'll
agree.
throw that in. So when you don't play with the energy and the intensity, everything else that you talked about follows that. We didn't 100%. Have it. And then we just got, earlier I said that we just got punked out. We got punked out today on both sides of the ball. Offensive line beat up our defensive line, and their defensive line beat up our offensive line today. So if you lose it in the trenches, you expect to get beat, and that's what happened on today. And I'm gonna throw in
100%.
The fact that Dan Quinn, once he saw that Cook was beating us like that, he did not adjust and at least try to stop the run. He still leaned on our front 4 to try to get it done. They neutralized Parsons by running straight at him. We didn't hear Michael Parsons' name the whole game.
Listen, I'm not a big referee guy at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can you do at that point? You got to adjust, and we didn't make the right adjustment.
Yeah, we didn't do that, and then the whole and penalties of that. But see, these are the type of games where your stars have to show up, and Michael Parsons is probably the biggest star on this team. He has had too many games this season where we don't even call his name. Now I understand he's getting double teamed. I understand he's getting chipped. But the great ones, and I'm not saying he's not great, but the great ones find a way. It just always happens.
Find a way.
Every dominant defensive player rarely gets a one-on-one. I don't care what era you go with, what team, even the good ones now. Myles Garrett see a double team every play. Aaron Donald sees a double team every play. TJ Watt sees a play double team on every play, but they still do what they have to do. I'm not saying Parsons don't do it, but it should never be a game where we don't call his name at all. And today,
100% agree with you.
We didn't call his name at all. That's not good. That's not good.
That was not good at all. Yeah, we got, to be honest with it, just to touch on what you said, they beat us on our, to win a football game, you got to win your one-on-one.
Yeah.
Now, we lost our one-on-one.
Yeah.
We may have been winning in certain areas, but they were winning in more areas than we were.
Yeah.
And especially, also, I haven't been to the Star in a long time. Not the Star, the stadium in a long time. But even when, I think it was Gilmore punched the ball out.
He missed it.
They missed it. That could have been a tie.
I would have thrown it at the time. Coach McCarthy should have just thrown the flag.
Exactly.
Anyway, because
who cares about the damn?
At that particular time, we had nothing going right, and if he would have challenged it, it was an obvious fumble, and we would have recovered the balls. That would have possibly changed the momentum because we had
the tide of the game 100%.
Exactly. So I would have thrown it anyway, and whether I seen a replay or not, I would have tried it because the players were running to the sideline saying, "Hey, we punched it out. We punched it out."
Exactly.
And he didn't trust the players at that particular time.
He didn't trust the players.
He was trusting whoever there was up in the box looking at the replay, and who knows, that might have turned the game around.
I think that Dan Quinn needs to come down from the box. You see these real good defensive coordinators and head coaches like D'Amico Ryan, and there's a bunch of and they play on the sideline. They're with the players. They're understanding how they're feeling. They're noticing. They're picking up on all these cues. You can't pick up on that stuff when you're 300 yards away, like in a box, contained. You need to be down there in the trenches with your players. I've always agreed on that style of coaching. And after this game and this loss, if you notice, most of our losses are atrocious. Wayne will come back stronger. We'll be strong for 3, 4, 5 games, and then the air gets let out of the ball again. And we go back 2 steps. Yeah. So there's no doubt that we're going to come back from this loss stronger. But especially going on another away game, we're just not going to have any. We need to be perfect. We need to take the ball, run it all the way down the field. The defense needs to put the clamps on. Tyreek Hill, I think he was injured. I'm not sure if he played this week.
He did not play. He did not play, but I'm sure he will be back this coming game. It's a big game for both these teams. Now, I really, really, really hope they get some serious talking to because they really did not play with any type of anger and just the physicality on both sides of the ball. It was just so much more in Buffalo than Dallas. Wow. I'm not sure if it's because we went to the playoffs like an hour before that game. Everyone looked at their phones and they're like, "Well, shit." Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what. Exactly. I don't know what the reason is, but I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. And
hey, have you been on the show before?
No, this is my first time.
Wow. How did you find out about the show?
I'm a frustrated Dallas Cowboys fan, man. I'm digging deep right now, man.
you just find the Cowboy podcast is going right now. Do me a favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna favorite.
I'll be watching. Well, subscribe to it if you don't mind and turn on those live notifications. And come on, hang with me. You're part of the family now. Welcome to the big time.
Absolutely, my guy. I got you 100%.
I appreciate you, man.
I'm going to be locked in with you.
Thank you, man.
Happy holidays, man.
You too, man. Merry Christmas. All right. Appreciate it. We got a new family member there. Just joined in. Line is open. Let me go ahead and fast forward you without even looking at no tape about the Miami Dolphins. Let me say this. If y'all were frustrated this week, next week, you're probably going to be more frustrated. That's why I say we better hope that these guys play ticked off because you're not going one-on-one with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and probably even Cedric Wilson. If you commit a lot of people to the run next week, Tua is going to have 500 yards passing because we have nobody. And I'm just going to say it now. Y'all get mad all you want. Nobody can guard Tyreek Hill if he plays. I'm going to even say one-on-one. Nobody can guard Jalen Waddle. Nobody. So you're going to have to, somebody got to get ticked off next week. See, I don't know if Dan Quinn was scared of Diggs today and their tight ends. Maybe so. But let me tell you something. They are going. You can't run blitz Miami. You can't. And they got 2 dogs back there. Let me see here.
Call from
James from Jersey.
Yes, sir. What's up, James? Let's go to work.
Oh man, I'm trying to. Boy, what? I should have took my ass from before the game started. But it's a lot of things we could say about the game. But you're right. After that first half, Dan Quinn should at least change up 3-4 or something, or 4-3 or whatever. Yeah. You have to go ahead and make the quarterback use his arm. I mean, we can talk about the plays, but we killed ourselves. D-Law, some of the penalties shouldn't have been penalties, but they were penalties.
Yeah.
I think what really happened when Dallas first got the possession, they went down the field automatically and threw towards Cook on this, like you trying to hit a home run in like the first couple of minutes in the first, in the first quarter. Your running back was doing pretty good. Paulo was doing pretty good. But they didn't have the same intensity like they had with Philly. They wasn't doing no motions. They wasn't doing nothing. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what am I missing here? Maybe you can elaborate on that, because I didn't see none of that motion, none of that stuff.
They didn't do it today. It's like everybody forgot how we got there. They was able to play Buffalo today. Played the defense that the San Francisco 49ers played. They just sat down. There was no motion. They just sat down. They knew the routes were going to be short. We didn't go down the field. When we did, we didn't hit it. The play the Cooks that you were talking about was open. Dak just overthrew it. Dak just overthrew the ball. That's the bottom line. He was open like that. CD went in a lot of motion today. They just sat down on us. We could have ran the ball just as well as Buffalo did today. But Mike McCarthy has this thing about putting it in Dak's hand, and you can't blame it because it's worked. So this, like I said, I'm not really going to over-respond. I'm just going to talk about this game. No, excuse me, I'm not going to overreact. This game, I mean, we 10-4. We got way more positives than negatives, but for this game, we look totally ridiculous today. We got punked out. We got destroyed. I don't know what else is. We got a woodshed beating on every facet of the game. We got out-coached. And they got to get it together real quick. It's just like I'm saying. A lot of this stuff, man, is pride, man, and won't do it.
Yeah,
energy,
you can see that.
And intensity. And there was no energy today at all, man. No energy at all.
But on that 3rd down and 1.
I was just about to go. Because on the 3rd and 1 just previously, they gave the ball to Hunter Lemke, and he almost busted out of there. And then on 3rd and 1, Mike McCarthy wanted to get cute.
Oh my God!
That was Kellen Moore type mess. It's just you don't have to get cute. Just run the ball like you did before. It just don't make any sense.
That didn't make any sense. I just shook my head. And
yeah.
Then
he got sacked. Then he got sacked on there. Just he figured that we were trying to run and Dak go hit this big play. Look, sometimes you got to just take what you just got to go ahead and get. The way I look at it is, it was 2 downs to get 1 yard. See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You could have went for it on 4th down, but they messed that up real bad. So I couldn't stand it, man. I couldn't stand it.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think about that so-called roughing the kicker? I thought it was not It was like running to the kicker, not
Well, I
like when they
felt I
called
felt
it
like it
rushing
should have been.
kicker.
I felt like it should have
Running
been.
to the kicker.
Well, I felt like it should have been running the kicker because
Right.
he actually, when you look at it, they try to get to the side. Running,
Exactly.
roughing the kicker is when you really knock them
directly.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't it. It was a penalty, but it still should have been a fourth down after after the penalty be administered. So that was a lot of questionable calls. But I don't want to blame it on referees. I ain't making no excuse.
But
Cowboys got their butt kicked.
To be honest,
bottom line.
Well, the bottom. Yeah, I agree with that, but I also agree with you too because I was pissed off with the coach because when Wilson punched that ball out of Cook's hand, and they was telling them, and you're right. What can you lose? What you gonna lose? You gonna lose a timeout in the first half? That's it.
That's it.
You take that chance. Listen to your players.
And that when you're not making plays, you have to make. You get the defense did what they supposed to do. They drive the ball loose. Those are momentum stoppers, game changing plays, and with the Cowboys they capitalize on it. And what they do, they scored later on that drive when that really was a fumble and a clear recovery. And a clear recovery by us.
Absolutely.
Say it is what it is.
Well, we're gonna enjoy the little bit that we do have, but like I said, I'm still with the Cowboys, and I know people just love to see us get beat.
Yeah, that's why you got all these folks in here right now. I got so many haters in. I ain't saying them in 5 weeks. I ain't saying them in 5 weeks. I've been looking for them. I see some Philadelphia Eagle fans in here, and I've been looking for them ever since we beat them, but they ain't popping in on the show. Now they want to pop in.
You never find them.
You see what I'm saying? You see,
you'll never find them.
I didn't even bother them when we beat them. I didn't even bother them. Now they want to come in and show out.
And I see your boy Eastside House, and my wife came in. She listened to she was laughing because she heard what you said. Like, where were you? And she was like, "That's what they do." I was hung up on them.
And here's the funny thing about Eastside, he's still on here. Eastside whole life, other than whatever he does professionally, his whole life is finding Cowboy podcasts to troll in on. That's what he do. Now watch this.
Oh my God.
Now he ain't jump on my show, but he was jumping on other folks' show trying to run and trying to lift up the flag of Houston, Texas. I don't even finna give it, man. If I ain't seen you in 3-4 weeks, don't come on my show.
My wife laughed. My wife laughed when she heard that.
Tell your wife I'm glad I'm some entertainment for her. Don't come on this show if I ain't seen you in 4-5 weeks. When the Cowboys were blistering people, then you didn't want to say nothing. Now all of a sudden, now you want to show up. Now, man, if you don't hurry me get off my phone, man.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you go. But just one thing I want to say.
Yeah, man.
We win that Super Bowl, somebody need to watch East Howe because he might be on suicide watch.
Oh, East Howe, we showed him on. He'll retire.
If we go to the Super Bowl,
he'll retire. He'll retire.
Oh, he retired?
Yeah, he'll retire.
Okay, Big Show. Sorry for taking over, but I enjoy it, man. But we got a big show. We got a big game coming up next week with Miami. And hopefully that Dan Quinn will make some changes to stop this running. Because they're going to definitely do it. Even though Tula's going to throw the ball. So.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you, man.
No problem. All right. Have a good night. All right. God bless you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Let me say this. Everybody, stop what you're doing. I hadn't done this the whole show, so everybody do this for me. If you're on YouTube, give me about, let's say, 12 hearts. Just smash it real quick. Help your boy out. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and give me about 12. Give me about 12 likes right there. Just hit it for me. If you don't mind, everybody, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit it for me. Thank you so much for that. Or if you're in the process of doing it, I appreciate it. All right. Like I said, I haven't looked at film yet, but I know how Miami play. I really don't have to because they're a complete offensive football team. You're not going to be able to run blitz Miami. Because if you do, you leaving one-on-one coverage. Tyreek Hill did not play this week. I'm quite sure he's going to play next week. If you run blitz with him, unless you blitzing linebackers, well, that's what I mean. If you bring extra, that means you're going one-on-one. We can't go one-on-one with Tyreek Hill. All respect to Gilmore and Bland, but you don't want Tyreek Hill one-on-one. You don't want Jaden Waddle one-on-one. You don't. And so, I don't know, the guys are going to have to get ticked off. And I'm quite sure they in the locker room or answer these questions from reporters, probably get ticked off from the questions. They need to carry that next week on the field and have a better representation in the run game, because if they don't, Miami might score 50 points against us, because they have two very explosive running backs, Moister and Ashi. I believe that's how you spell his name. Both of them are fast. Both of them are tough, and they run the ball extremely well. We got to show up next week. That's the bottom line. As I said before, we came in this game, I didn't see no intensity. You go down there to Miami with no intensity and watch what happened to you. They got capability of putting 60 points on you. So Dan Quinn better get this stuff together real quick. The leaders on this team better get ticked off real quick. I mean, quickly. You're going to have to do it, because the blueprint, has always been there. The reason why this hasn't showed up much is because the Cowboys usually jump on people, and the scoreboard takes away the running game for the opposite team. If you look up at the scoreboard, the Cowboys may be up 17-0. It's like an avalanche happened. They score once, get a turnover, offense get the ball, score again. Before you know it, it's 17 points, 21 points, and it's just in the first quarter. They take away the running game. But what happens when the Cowboys don't get the turnover? What happens when the Cowboys are behind in the scoreboard? Now you see, this is what happened in the Arizona game. This is what happened in the San Francisco game. Same beatdown. Same way. And it's too late in the year for us to be getting beat like that. It's too late in the year for us to get blown away like that, like what happened today. Josh Allen didn't even have 100 yards passing today. Josh Allen didn't even have 100 yards passing today. I think he threw the ball 15 times. That's it wasn't Josh Allen. It was James Cook. That's ridiculous. I hope they put the big boy pants on next week. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Today, we got punked out. That's the bottom line. And every Cowboy fan get ready to take our whooping this week. Oh, everybody gonna have a field day on us. Everybody. They gonna say, well, long as the Cowboys ain't playing at home, that's the narrative of what's gonna be. When they play on the road, you can beat them. That's what everybody gonna say. If they get y'all at home, you might be in trouble, because the Cowboys will rip you apart at home. But on the road, they ain't nowhere to be found. That's what we gonna hear this week. The MVP talk is over. I'm getting ready to close here, so I'm gonna recap kind of what I said before. Dak Prescott, you can lose a game, but if you have some quality stats, and they can say, well, he still had a good game in spite of. That'll keep you in. But you can't have a stinker game. You can't totally stink. That's what happened with Dak Prescott today. MVP, no sir. That's over and done with now. So the Cowboys are gonna get destroyed tonight, tomorrow. I ain't even looked at Twitter. I want to see if Stephen A. I just want to see. See, we ain't heard from him in a month either. Usually when we lose, he He does this stupid laugh that he does when the Cowboys lose. I'm about to see if I see it. Let me see if I see it. Y'all forgive me. Let's see if he did it. Yep. 1 hour ago. See right there, look. See right there. See that right there. That right there. See what I'm saying? Look. That happened 1 hour ago. I knew it. We ain't saying that in 6 weeks. Now he want to show up. See what I'm saying? I can't stand it. You see what I'm saying? Let me hit it and rewind it.
You fell for Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? I know I told you because I was on TV when I said it. And I rewinded it. I DVR'd it just to make sure I told you. I picked the Buffalo Bills to win this game. It was a tough one. I understand. Y'all fell for the okie doke, didn't you? You sat up there and listened to old Stevie A tell you. That Prescott MVP kid. You fell for it, didn't you? You fell for it, okay? You sat up there. I ain't tell you about that running game of Buffalo. I ain't tell you about that inclement weather. I ain't tell you about Western New York and how the Dallas Cowboys ain't fit to deal with such adverse conditions. I ain't getting none of that. I'll let you sit up there and believe that those Dallas Cowboys are going to be special. They were going to be special. They were going to rise to the occasion, even though I told you they were going to lose. And they got stomped. What did I tell you? I'm going to leave you alone from that. But it's just a reminder of what the big bullies the Dallas Cowboys are. When you're going up against inferior competition, you show up and you show out. And you win a tough game here and there. But every now and then there's elements and increments that are dropped to show you who you are and what you're going to be when it really, really counts. How about them Cowboys? See you tomorrow on First Take. You hear?
See, I haven't heard from him, and I'm treating him like I did Eastside earlier. Some of y'all that's in here, I ain't seen you. If I ain't seen you in 4 or 5 weeks, and we seen Stephen A. because he has a show and he has his podcast show, so he can't hide. It just he don't want to give the Cowboys no credit, even though they don't want it. But that laugh, I ain't heard that in 5 or 6 weeks. That's because Cowboys have won. Now he shows up.
Call from
Cowboy Marlon.
All right, Cowboy Marlon, you got the dance floor. What's up?
Well, I think one of the callers said earlier that Buffalo had laid out the blueprint for how to deal with the Cowboys. I believe that's what they said.
Yeah. It's been the blueprint.
No, they did not.
Exactly.
They ain't laid out nothing.
No, it's been that way.
Let me ask you a question. So let me get this right. In 3 of the 4 losses, the Cowboys gave up 200 yards rushing.
Exactly.
Cardinals, 49ers, and the Buffalo Bills. So we gave up 200 plus yards. And as a matter of fact, I don't know. I'm sure somebody can pull up some analytics. I wonder what the record of all the teams are in the league that have given up 200 yards rushing the game. You're not going to win.
No.
You're not going to win very many games. I bet you, as a matter of fact, it doesn't even happen very often.
Well,
I bet you only have about one or two.
Let me stop you on one of them. The 49ers didn't get 200 yards rushing against us. McCaffrey only had 50 yards. So he didn't do it. We just got pumped out by their defense. That's what happened with the 49ers.
Then I stand corrected.
Yeah, but traditionally speaking, the book of how to beat the Cowboys is out. We're so quick to make a big play, and I'm going to say something about this. Do I see some selfishness with this team that everybody's focused on? I want to get a sack. I've seen where we got star players complaining, whether it would have been CD earlier this year was complaining, and maybe it was justifiable so, where he should have gotten more touches and should have gotten more targets. But we seem like a prima donna team, man, where our stars are interested in making individual plays. Everybody wants a sack. We don't play the run on the way, because playing the run is not glamorous. It's not sexy. Everybody wants a big play. Another thing, I'm not saying that this cost us the game, but Sam Williams doesn't have any discipline at all. Do you realize for a player that plays part-time, doesn't it seem like he leads the league in personal fouls?
Yeah, he's a part-time player.
Late hit, personal foul, is consistent. I like his talent, but he doesn't play with any discipline. So I don't have much. It ain't really much to say, to be honest with you.
No.
You know, you said we got punked.
We did.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know that okay, and I don't want to disagree with your premise, but two things I want to say. When you say we got punked, I'm not sure that the Cowboys so much got punked, or if it's just simply we're not physically equipped to match up against a team that's capable. Now, I think that every team in the league all has the same idea. Hey, let's come out. We're going to be physical with the Cowboys. We're going to run the ball on them. But everybody don't have the ability to do so. Everybody ain't got a cook. Everybody doesn't have a line that can do that. If you can do it, I think then that is the recipe. And the other thing is, if you have if you got an offense where you can simply stay in the game and withhold and stand up to that avalanche that you spoke of, you know, it's always an avalanche. If we come out, and it almost seems like if the Cowboys can't pump them and hit them in the mouth first, get a lead, let the pass rush pin their ears back. We know they got to throw the ball. Defensive backs jumping routes, scoring touchdowns. I don't know that we can just stand up and play 4 quarters of smash-mouth, hard-nosed football and win a football game 23-21. I don't know if we can. I think it's got to be the Cowboys are an excellent football team. And I'm like Parcells. You are what your record says you are. And the Cowboys are 10-4. So that's what they are. It ain't no smoke and mirrors. You can go and ask all their opponents. That's a good football team over there. But I don't know if it's so much that we got punked or if it's more we just don't have physical personnel to play that style of game.
This game, you got the personnel. Buffalo is not that great. You can't keep in mind, they came in as a 7-6 football team. They played their best game of the year today. They are not on the level of the 49er team. They're better than the Cardinals, and they're not as good as the Eagles were. We just got punked today. Offensive line got punked by their defensive line. Their offensive line for sure beat up our defensive line. It ain't no question. We'll
both look at the all 22. I want to see how much of it. It didn't seem like they were running right up the middle. Some of this might have had to do with Hankins. It seems like they were attacking the edge.
Well, they attacked everywhere, and we couldn't stop them. Josh Allen only threw the ball 15 times, had less than 100 yards. Less than, if I would have said that, somebody would have said Josh Allen got hurt today. No, they made a decision that we just gonna run it down y'all throat. In the third quarter, when they scored their touchdown, they didn't even try to pass until they got inside the 10-yard line. They just lined up and ran the ball. If it wasn't Cook, it was the other guy. Now, you know teams don't supposed to do all that. That's punking you out, saying, hey, we're going to run here. You cannot stop us. Josh Allen had 7 for 15, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. If you tell me that Josh Allen threw the ball 15 times, 94 yards, I would have said, okay, Josh Allen got hurt, or Buffalo just said we had no more. They got destroyed. There's nowhere in the world Josh Allen was supposed to have those type of numbers and win. So you got to say, well, if they lost 31-10 and Josh Allen only threw for 94 yards, how did the Cowboys lose? They got punked out.
They control the clock. They control the clock.
By doing what?
Right, running the football. Hey, excellent show as always. One last thing. I heard you say that Dan Quinn didn't make any adjustments.
He did.
Frankly, I've been involved with football, and much of that was with you. I don't know that there is an adjustment to getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you next time.
Got you. I like it. You dropped the mic on that one. I like it. That's my buddy there. Tyrone Cole. I don't know you because I've never seen you. Okay, I can tell now you're a Cowboy fan. No, Josh Allen didn't prove he was better than Dak today. He didn't do it nothing. Dak didn't do it nothing. His team won, but it wasn't because of Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't do it. It was Cook today. It was James Cook in their defense. It wasn't Josh Allen. He ain't doing enough to get that type of thing. Tyrone, see, Cowboy fans are extreme. And you seem like you one of them. I'm not insulting you. I just been around long enough with the Cowboy fans since 1977. I could just tell you one of those extreme fans. Like you probably said earlier, we going to the Super Bowl. It's either ain't no middle ground. And then when we get our butts kicked like this, you say everybody need to get fired and all that kind of stuff. Let me remind you, it ain't too many coaches around that have won minimum 12 games, 2 seasons back to back. I would bet that they probably gonna win at least 12 this year. That'll be 3 years in a row. For years, we've been trying to get consistent to get to the playoffs. See, a lot of people want to go all the way to the top ladder, and sometimes you got to build this thing. Cowboys, if they make the playoffs this year, I can't tell you the last time the Cowboys made the playoffs 3 straight years unless you go back to the 90s team. Usually the way we've been going to the playoffs, even with Jason Garrett, is wait till the last game of the year, all those 8-8 seasons that we lost. Then when we made the playoffs, we would go 1 year, then we will go another year, then we will go 1 year and all that. You can't fire a guy that has produced. You can't fire a Dan Quinn when it is obvious he is known as one of the top 2 or 3 defensive coordinators in the league, who has turned this team, this defense, into a top 5 defense. You can't do that. You can't. If your whole thing is just winning the Super Bowl, and those things are hard to win. Huh? You can't do that. You just can't. So they got their butts kicked today. They got punked out. We just lost. We lost today. That's today. But today does not eliminate what we've done all year. It does not. It does not. It was a butt kicking. Now, highly questionable calls in the first half. I noticed that the referees did not, and I'm not using an excuse because I still think that we would have got our butt kicked even if we got some of them called. But I noticed that they weren't called in the second half. I noticed that. Just saying. Of course, D-Law did not hit the guy late. Well, he did, but he did hit him late. The punt roughing the kicker there, that wasn't it. Mike McCarthy messed up by not challenging because he obviously fumbled and we recovered the ball. Those are game-changing plays that we missed. But other than that, we got whipped in the trenches, offensively and defensively, and we allowed James Cook to have his Hall of Fame game today. Yeah, I mean, it's just, well, it's hard to get to the NFC Championship game, Tyrone. It's hard. It's hard to get to the NFC Championship game, especially when I had said, I hate to say it, but I looked at Philadelphia's schedule, and the way that it was that even if the Cowboys win out and Philadelphia wins out, Philadelphia will win the division, even though we beat them the last game. And I was just saying it's going to be a hard road to be on the road. It can be done because it's been done before, but it's going to be a hard road to win 3 road games to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's going to be hard. You'll play an NFC South champion. And when you've been, I'm sorry. I mean, it's going to be hard. Mike said he been trying to call in. I ain't got your, I don't see it, Mike. I don't see it. I don't see the call. Well, Tyrone, I get it. I know you sound like I said, you one of those Cowboy fans that when we in. When we hot, when we don't win, we go to the extreme. I get it.
Uncle Charles.
All right, Uncle Charles, what's up?
Hey, what's happening, Big Time?
Man, we all right, man. Go ahead and dance on the dance floor. You got it.
It's just like Jerry Jones. Look how long it took him to put Jimmy Johnson in the ring of fame. See, sometimes people don't do anything. People don't do nothing until Jesus about to tap them on the shoulder. When you start to see your immortality not lasting any longer, that's when you want to make wrong right, and it's too damn late. You should have been putting him in there 5, 6 years ago. But this is how Jerry is. You cannot call yourself a good team and play like that the week before and come out and completely be undisciplined. Discipline is the key. You learn that when you're a child up on your mom and dad. You learn that on your job. You learn that around your friends. You learn around your pastor. Discipline. And if you ain't got discipline, you are a wild animal that's loose. That's exactly what you is. And that's all I got to say, Big Time. Appreciate you. Great show.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. See, sometimes you gotta, sometimes you have to call it like it is. Well, because like I said, Cowboy fans You get the extreme Cowboy fans at Super Bowl, and you get Cowboy fans like myself, and like call it like it really is. See, a lot of people think that we're walking, and we showed some of the signs of that. The old saying is sometimes you got to crawl before you walk, and sometimes
like 11.
Sometimes you got to admit that we are still crawling. Instead of, and that's what a mistaken identity is. See, when you have games like this, it's a hard reminder that this team is still learning how to win. You can't have games like this. Not this late in the season. It's not a good sign. What's up, Mike? I'm sorry.
How's it going?
What's going on?
Hey, I hope you're not catching that cold though that's been going around the Cowboys locker. I see you been pulling out that those tissues like all through the whole show. I've been seeing you grabbing those little tissues.
Well, what you don't know is that a couple weeks ago I had a pre-stroke. That's why y'all haven't seen me. I had a pre-stroke, and then so I'm recovering off that, and now I've got a sinus infection that's going on, and my voice obviously isn't clear, but I got to blow. I got to keep tissue around because y'all would laugh at me if I had mucus running down my nose like this. So when I feel it coming, I'm on TV, so I gotta make sure that I don't embarrass myself. That's why I mute everything out so y'all can hear me blow. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's going on, man?
Oh man, wow. Well, that didn't go according to plan. Well, yeah, you're right. They did get punked on both sides of the football. I didn't even realize how important. You know what they say, that one man can make a difference? I had no idea Jonathan Hankins was this violent in his defense because his absence was massive.
Well, I want to say this.
It was.
Let me say that he would have helped, but Buffalo ran today wherever they wanted to. It wasn't up the middle. A lot of stuff they can run outside. So I get what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with him, but I'm saying it's more than Hankins. I mean, our linebackers got annihilated today. The safeties didn't make tackles. They were missing tackles. I mean, it was just horrible. But we need Hankins in because Gallimore. I don't get that. I didn't get that. Yeah,
and let's just I know on the Big Time Show we keep it real, so let's keep it real here. Buffalo was desperate. They knew they were 7-6. They knew if they lose this game, it's over for them. They came out like it was the last game of their lives. They were the more desperate team. They came out with passion. They came out with fire. They came out with energy. Cowboys, not so much. They didn't match their intensity, not at all. They just didn't. They came out flat, uninspired. I mean, the penalties. Here we go, yeah, penalty. And I know other people have always talked about it. Sam Williams, come on, man. On that punt, you cannot do that penalty on that punt. And you're right. When they punch the ball out of, they punch that, make that fumble. McCarthy, who cares if it cost you a timeout? He should have challenged that. He outthunk himself there. He should have challenged it. He should have challenged that play.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
There's no doubt about it. And then you already, I know I always saw it. And I almost threw my phone through the windshield. When you
go ahead.
You know what they're gonna say because Darryl Locke he win tonight that the MVP voting. That dude completed 7 passes.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
James Cook won it. They took the football out of Josh Allen's hand.
Yep.
He only had that 15 passes completed 7.
Yeah.
So you watch. I'm calling my shot right now. You watch tomorrow. They're gonna say, "Oh, how great Josh Allen is! Oh, he had this tremendous game. They scored all these points. Yeah, they scored all those points with no contribution from you."
Yeah.
James Cook won that football game, and they just I don't know. Going against Miami. I know Dan Quinn, he loves to play man to man, but they need to make a concerted effort to stop the run. Now, if we supposedly have 2 elite corners, they need to just put them on an island and just put everyone else in to try to stop the run, because this could easily happen again next week if they're not careful. So whatever they gotta do, they gotta fix it. If Dan Quinn has gotta play zone,
yeah,
he needs to say, okay, I gotta change up. I've gotta play zone, because that's the only way you're gonna try to put on Tyreek Hill. I don't think even our corners is gonna be able to can stop him.
Yeah. Well, they got to figure it out, because Miami can run the ball just as well, without a doubt. So they got to figure it out real quick. Like I said, next week is going to be even more difficult, because you can't run blitz Miami, because if you do, you're leaving Tyreek Hill one-on-one, and you're leaving Jalen Waddle one-on-one, and that is not the game plan. And get the ball out so quick that you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to do it, because they can't run the ball. So our front folk got to go ahead and get it done. That's the way that I see it.
And one more thing before I let you go, don't let these haters who come on your show, they'll get you like Eastside and all these other Eagle fans who haven't been around for 5 weeks. All they're doing is just pumping up your show and making you large. Making your show is getting large over there.
Man.
So don't even worry about it. Like you say, Eastside, he's been MIA.
Yeah, man, he here
for a long time. Now all of a sudden he's gonna roll. Now he's gonna roll up in here.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's him. That's how he do.
You did. As you sit there and watch your likes get your likes and your subscriptions, they watch it blow up. You just say, "Hey, thanks, Eastside. I appreciate it," because all he's doing is helping you make your show bigger.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate you, Mike. We'll try it next week.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. Bye. All right. I said something to Coach Marv. He called in. And I know Coach got plenty to say, so I know y'all want to hear him. I said to him something and he didn't respond. I'm gonna let him kind of close it out, because you know what I'm
8039603.
Hey, yes. Coach, did you get my text?
Bar. To accept, press 1. To send a...
Coach, did you get my text? Coach.
Call from
Coach Mar.
To accept.
Coach.
Here I am.
All right, turn your
I am, Big Show.
phone down. Did you get my text?
I saw the text come in, but I heard the other guy talking. I clicked on without.
Go ahead and send me your email real quick. Are you sitting at your desk?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you gone? Okay, well, go ahead. I was gonna bring you on because I ain't feel like letting you on and go ahead and let you talk. But you on now? Go ahead. You got the dance floor.
Yeah. Big Show. This game was really disappointing to me, but listen, it reminds me of what
It reminds me and I'm not over panicking,
No.
but it reminds me what San Francisco went through when they beat us.
Yeah.
They were so enamored with that they gave up 160 yards rushing to Cleveland the next week and 150 yards rushing to Cincinnati and lost both of those games. Did they lose them as bad as we lost this game? No, they didn't. But they realized that they had to have defense to win games and then let Brock Purdy and whatever them do what they're going to do. What they're going to do. I put out 9 early in the week. I put out 9 things you got to do to gangster road victory. And out those 9 things of defense must be solid, time of possession, physicality, turnovers, explosive plays, running game commitment, special team, win field position, red zone, and dog mindset. We accomplished 0.
Exactly.
And if you accomplish 0 of those 9, you'll get what you got today. Yeah. And that's where many teams that you play in this National Football League, if you don't get none of those, this is what you get. And I think, I believe our voice matters on Big Show. It matters. Even though we're not in the locker room, even though we're not in the star, even though we're not in the, we have nothing to do with the game planning of the football team. But we know that this young team is social media conscious. And what they hear and what we talk about is what they get in their mind. And we spent 4 to 7 days talking about the Eagles game. We spent another 3 days talking about if Dak Prescott was going to be MVP.
Yeah.
But we never really concentrated on what it's going to take to win in a hostile territory, and that is you got to come with the mindset of really playing. Is it a personnel type thing that we're worried about? No, I don't think it's a personnel type thing. I've been talking about this defense having a mindset of having this game on them because I have seen them do it before. I have seen them when Cooper Rush was throwing for minimal yards, say, man, if we're going to win some games with Dak Prescott out, we got to stop teams and we got to shut them down. I've seen them early in the season when our offense was not all the way on point, where the defense is on us. But I don't think that we win the physicality battle, and physicality is not offense and defensive line. Physicality is the way you judge a physical football team is how their defensive backs tackle and get off block, how their linebackers tackle and get off block and attack people, how their receivers block, how their running backs block and run. And we lost all the battles of the block, getting off blocks of the defensive backfield, our linebackers, everything that we up front, we allowing, we saying, okay, we're going to allow our defensive line to play physical. Everybody else going to wait and sit and wait for guys for the defense tackle to make tackles. Yeah. That ain't how you stop running. The run game is a collective of all the players attacking the line of scrimmage. And I'm not going to leave out our offense. Our offense, we did get in the rhythm. We didn't find no explosive plays. We did get in any explosive plays because if we gave up 266 yards rushing, Big Show, 260 yards rushing.
It's ridiculous.
But it's a team on the West Coast that is the number 1 team in the National Football League. San Francisco gave up 234 yards today rushing.
Yeah.
234 yards rushing. Everybody that Arizona let touch the ball got big rushing games.
Yeah.
They gave up 234 yards rushing. They gave up 100-yard receiver in the Cardinals tight end. But they won 45-29 because they got explosive plays. Yeah. They didn't turn the ball over. I said in this game, the momentum of this game turned on 3 plays. 3 of the plays, I'm not going to say that was a bad play by us, but if the flag comes, it comes. DeMarcus Lawrence hit on Josh Allen was a call that he flopped and got that call.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott got hit the same way or even more in the stomach. They didn't give him that call, but Josh Allen flopped and got it. That was a 3rd down and 3. They would have to kick a field goal on that. On the block punt, that's only running into the kicker. That's not roughing the kicker because he barely hit him.
Yeah.
But the worst thing about that is he's supposed to have blocked the punt. But he did use the right technique of going at the foot of the punter. He just jumped in the air. He was there to block the punt. That's a 14-point turnaround because we get up there, we turn. That's a turnover because we got the ball, and now we got to give the ball back to them.
Yeah.
And then Mike McCarthy, he throw that flag on anything that's considered a fumble or even remotely a fumble because the timeout is not going to hurt you if you lose it. You got to throw that flag just to see.
Yeah.
That those 3 things, and once the train got rolling, it gets rolling down here. But we always need to talk about, we can talk about the game, but let's talk about solutions, Big Show.
Yeah.
The solution is that, as I've said all the time, Big Show, we got to pay the fee to be champions.
Yep.
And everybody, I have some people on Twitter that laugh at old Coach Marv when he talk about the fee. That's focus, effort, and execution, and that's got to be on everything. But it can't be on if Dak is going to win the MVP. It can't be on if we get a #1 seed. It can't be on if we play at home. It can't be on if what Philly going to do, what they coaching staff doing. What they players said.
Yeah.
I posted on Twitter yesterday, last night, when I went on my Twitter yesterday, and I saw 10 posters, and I'm not saying that we in that room, but they watching social media just like us.
Yeah.
When I saw 10 posters about Slade talking about he might, like he wanted to be a Cowboy, and everybody posted about Philadelphia and about what they said about Dak Prescott being MVP. And I posted, I said, I hope our Cowboys are not focused in on this stuff and not focused in on the Bills, the Dolphins, the Lions, and Washington.
Yep.
Because regardless of all the facts, nobody cares what you did last week in this league. Last week is last week.
Yep.
So we have to have that same philosophy this week.
Yep.
This game is in the toilet. Go to the next game. And if you don't think the Miami Dolphins run the ball, check where they rank in the NFL and running the ball.
No doubt about
and
it.
it's at the top.
No doubt.
They throw the score. They run to control the game. They want to hit you with big. They're not throwing the ball to get first downs and to move the chain. They throwing the ball to get touchdowns, but they're running the ball to keep the ball.
Yeah.
So it's a thing in this team is a young team. But I think when we start talking about the game, we need to talk about the team.
Yeah.
And we need to not fall to the okie doke of the media. The media is trying to get you focused on thinking that if Dak wins MVP, you guaranteed to win a Super Bowl. If we beat Philly, we guaranteed to win. We talk about seed. We talk about week 1 game. We got 4 more games to go. And everybody talk about, well, we got #1 seed, man. We just went out. There's all these other teams. Listen, these guys need to focus on what it is. And I thought, Big Show, since you've been doing this show, since you've been doing all this Cowboys show, since you started, what's the main focus of 6?
Well, that's
isn't the main focus to win the 6?
The goal is to win a world. The goal is to win a world championship. That's it.
Yeah, how many MVP quarterbacks we done had in doubt?
It's been none.
We won a Super Bowl 1 year when we had the top-ranked defense in the whole league. The first year we won in '93 with Jimmy Johnson, we were the #1 defense in the league, and we had no Pro Bowls.
Won 1 Pro Bowl on the team. Not Ken, Nolan, none of those guys. Nobody.
None of the guys.
Yep.
But they were focused on the task in hand as winning as a team. Now, is it a glaring weakness that we got a run game? I know we just got off the Ball Cowboy show, and some people brought up, man, we need to go get Sue. We need to go get this. Listen, man.
No, we don't need Sue.
If you need somebody to come in this room right now to be a leader to tell you, to give you the right mentality as a total group,
you're in trouble.
And you 15,
you're in trouble.
You are not who you think you are.
Yep.
So it's no need to panic, but it is about focus. You got 10 victories, you got 4 losses. There's not a lot. I done seen Baltimore play a crazy game. I seen Detroit get killed by Chicago when they couldn't do that.
Detroit
when they come back
by Green Bay.
I lose 2 in a row and come back and look dominant. I've seen a lot of teams lose games and come back, but they had to focus in on who they are. And the Cowboys are a defense that is based off of attack style defense.
Yeah.
But this is not an attack style defense that we played today. And you do not stop the run with defensive alignment. You stop the run with a selection of 11 guys being hungry and attacking the line of two. And I got to do for everybody. If we think in week 10 that we can go into like we do in fantasy football or we do on John Madden, where we can go into the pool of players and pick some Hall of Famers and bring them back today to play and change the whole roster, if we think that that's how we're going to be able to do it, well, we sadly mistaken. These guys got to get busted in the mouth, and they had to come collectively and stop hiding behind all these other things that people talk about that don't mean nothing. So hopefully they understand. Hopefully our fans start talking about every game and looking at it and stop believing that we unbeatable. Because if we don't come to play, we can be beat by the starring team, the best team, any other team. And if we come to play and those 9 things that I put out there, if we come to play and we don't meet none of them, we going to get blowed out again.
Yeah. All right, Coach.
So,
there's
no need to panic. We got to come to play football because there's teams that's playing tight games, playing better than us, or playing solid football because they're not involved in the hype of MVP and all this other show. They're involved in the team winning football in the greatest team sport in the history of sport.
All right. Appreciate you. Sure, I ran out of time, Coach. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. Bye. I hate to cut Coach off like that, but I'm down to my last minute. Tune in tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll get back with you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show. We'll see you. Great show. Knowledge.